Actually made it in Rimersburg, and whenever the DCED group asked us to submit places for the secretary and his team to visit, we submitted a few places, and this was one of them. And whenever they called me, Scott Dunkelberger called and said, "We're going to IBake." I'm like, "Yay!" I literally did that on the phone. He goes, "Wow!" Like, I'm so excited because we're so excited about this plant. We're especially excited that Secretary Walker chose himself to come here. I believe it's his first time declaring.
I heard there were free samples.
And there are lots of samples. I told these guys to grab them because everybody in the room is going to want some, but somehow I feel like there's a few cookies back there. So, you know, as far as economic development, you know, it's exciting for me to work with IBake, to work with companies, and it's exciting for me to have the opportunity for all of you to come here and see what I consider a gem and a staple for a long time in this community. And I'm not going to elaborate on that because Ed and Secretary Walker have far more important remarks than I do. But we're going to have Ed Metzer come up here, partner and vice president of IBake Foods. Welcome in. Thanks for having us.
Well, first I'd like to say thank you for everyone coming out. Secretary Walker, choosing here this facility means quite a bit to us here at this facility. While you didn't have the opportunity to see it full run, one, we had a holiday right now, but the other is that we're in between stages there. The folks that are here are very proud to have this facility back up and running, and we enjoy being part of this community. The work that Jamie has helped us with in getting us into this direction, she's been an integral part in actually getting us familiar with the community, and we look forward to working with others in the community that I've met here today, and really embracing the fact that IBake Foods is going to be a longtime partner for the city of Rimersburg and in the state of Claret, that can be seen at the world stage is a manufacturer of high quality goods. During our tour, I think I kind of told you a little bit about who we are. You got the opportunity to see that, and we just, as I said, reiterate that we enjoy being here and want to grow. So just thank you and welcome you on.
Thank you.
Even though this is informal, I am going to give the secretary due justice and read his bio if you don't mind. Your press people gave it to me. So anyway, C. Alan Walker was confirmed as Secretary of the Department of Community and Economic Development on April 12, 2011. As the head of DCED, Walker will lead the agency's efforts in improving our communities and position Pennsylvania business to grow and compete in the global economy. Secretary Walker comes to DCED from Bigler, PA, where he was president and CEO of Bradford Energy Company, Incorporated. He also served as member and chairman of several boards, including the Pennsylvania Chamber of Business and Industry, Team Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania Coal Association, and Pennsylvania for Effective Government. He's also president of the Pennsylvania Society. In addition to an impressive business resume, Secretary Walker has an extensive and effective civic record. He served with Bigler Civic and Recreation Association, Clearfield YMCA, Clearfield Hospital Board of Directors, the Clearfield Foundation for Health and Bucktail Council, Boy Scouts of America. A trustee of Bucknell University, Walker served on the university's long-range planning, building, and grounds trusteeship and executive committees. Secretary Walker obtained his bachelor's degree in economics from Bucknell and earned a master's degree in business administration from Penn State. I am proud and I am honored and so happy you're here, Secretary Walker. Welcome.
Good to be here. Well, no, I was active in business affairs and civic affairs. I'm also married, have 2 children and 4 grandchildren, so I've been a busy person. I actually took this job January 18th of 2011, but it took 3 months for the confirmation. Just for your own information, as part of the confirmation process, when you're nominated for a cabinet position, you have to actually meet with all 50 state senators. So it took that long for me to meet with all 50 state senators. But fortunately, when they voted, the vote was 50-0. I was the first nominee confirmed. So as of today, I start my 21st month on the job. I have now visited or given remarks or toured plants in 46 of our 67 counties. It's an incredible state. I don't think I have to tell you that. I am from Clearfield County, so I guess I would have to say my mindset is very similar to what you are here in Clarion County. Small town boy. My little village that I grew up in was bigger, 500 people. I graduated from Clearfield High School, live in Clearfield now, but I just enjoy the small town life, and I really enjoy Western Pennsylvania. Now we are on a 3-day tour, discovered and developed Pennsylvania, DCED on the road, and we started out in Sharon, Pennsylvania. Actually Sunday night we were in Sharon. We've done 8 counties. We have visited, not myself personally, but myself or my staff have visited 60 factories or projects or buildings that have been renovated on this tour in 8 different counties. This is actually my last stop on my way back to Harrisburg. I guess the more I get around the state, the more I'm impressed with the people of the state, the ingenuity of the people of the state, the entrepreneurship, the work ethic, and I think that's what we're seeing here at the plant. And I'm sure, Ed, that's one reason why you chose this location. Absolutely. You recognize that there's a great work ethic in this state, and this part of the state in particular. But we are about to embark on a new adventure in Pennsylvania. Our goal is to try to reindustrialize the state. And I talked to the school people, and they said at one time the school system here was 1,200 students, now it's 600 students. That's so typical of Western Pennsylvania. I know my high school, Clearfield High School, was a quad A high school not all that long ago, and now we're about 1 year from being a double A high school. So our enrollment's about 50% of what it was 20 years ago, and that's typical of these communities in Western Pennsylvania. But we see a real opportunity to reindustrialize Western Pennsylvania. I think you probably, and especially in Clarion County, you'd be very aware of what's going on with shale gas, with the Marcellus and the Utica. We do believe that we are going to get a very, very large petroleum cracker in Beaver County, Pennsylvania. The capital investment in that project will be somewhere between $3.5 and $5 billion. And it was a great victory for us because we were competing against other states. But the real significance of that is it's going to be part of what we call the cluster concept, where it's not just the cracker itself, it's the downstream industries that we're really interested in, because the cracker is key to the petrochemical industry, which is the plastics industry. And we see the number of jobs that are going to come as a result of that project are really significant, and it's going to be a big part of reindustrializing Western Pennsylvania. But we're seeing that everywhere we go. What I'm seeing is a consolidation of a lot of industries. We don't have the huge steel industry that we did at one time. I mean, for example, we were in Sharon, which at one time had 20,000 steel workers. We were in Titusville at one time. Armco Steel had 5,000 employees there. Now, you're not going to see that anymore because steel isn't made on that scale in this country. And the statistic I give is that during World War II, 35% of the steel in the world was made in Pennsylvania. Today, less than 1% of the steel made in the world is made in Pennsylvania. So you can see how that industry has dropped. And I don't have to tell you people in Clarion County about what has happened to the coal industry. So a lot of our traditional industries are gone or substantially reduced, but we are in a transition economy. So what I see in the western part of the state are many, many specialty companies, specialty steel companies that are smaller than the big ones that we had at one time, but much greater value added. It requires a specialized workforce, so workforce training is very important. But the value added is so significant because the end product is so high in value, the wages are better, and the people who get those jobs are going to do extremely well. What we're hoping is that there will be a number of jobs developed to support those companies that are doing that. Just like here, it's not just going to be this bakery, it's going to be the truckers, it's going to be the repair people. You get a multiplier effect, and generally with every one job you have in food service or manufacturing, there's another job out there to support that job. So I think this is the beginning of a new start here in this region, I'm just very, very optimistic about the future because of our low energy costs in Pennsylvania, our natural resources. One other statistic I like to use is that we have more BTU equivalent in natural gas under the state of Pennsylvania than Saudi Arabia has in all their oil reserves. That gives you an idea of how big of an energy field we're sitting on here in Pennsylvania, and my goal is to see that that energy is used to drive down our cost of generating electricity, our cost of manufacturing, which will once again make Pennsylvania very competitive in the world economy. If you're the low-cost producer in anything, you're always going to survive. So that's the goal, be the low-cost producer. Do any of you have any questions? You know, I have to tell you, I'm really impressed because I did a press conference in Erie, and there was one newspaper representative, and I come here to Clarion County, and we have 5 different people. So
They're all my friends so far.
That's impressive.
Till the next edition.
Yeah.
What's been the most surprising thing in your tour so far?
The energy in these small communities, the excitement. There's still a great spirit there, and I think we at DCED, if we can help tie into that and have people bring these good projects to us, it's going to be a great project. People haven't given up on their communities. There's a tremendous love of community. Of course, again, I'm from a small town, so I recognize that, and I'm sensitive to that when I go into other communities. But the pride in the communities, the energy, the fact that people want to save their communities, they want the communities to do better. You know, it's just like your school system. You always are striving to make your school system better. And I see most of these communities are striving to make their communities better. And I think as long as we do that, we're going to be okay. If we stop striving, we're in real trouble. As long as we're striving, I think we're going to be okay. Yeah, come on up.
All right.
Or come on down.
Come on over.
And we did sample some cookies today, and they were excellent. If you go to the supermarket, get the shortbread with the chocolate chips. It's it's as good as any I've ever had.
Well, thank you for that endorsement on that. Is there any questions about IBake Foods?
I noticed that you have a really attractive selection there. Do you make it for just your own brand, or do you make cookies and products for other brands?
We do both. We think of ourselves more of a co-packing or a private label manufacturer than a branded manufacturer. And the reason being is our product is going to the in-store bakeries of grocery chains, and in that segment of the business, it's pretty much dominated by the chain's brand. So we don't see a necessity to actually go out and develop a brand of our own, per se, you know, like a Keebler or anything like that. And our focus is to make high-quality products that anyone will be proud of.
I see it as we now have our excuse to eat more cookies. Flexibility in our local economy. I've been waiting for a long time. How many employees do you have?
Currently there's right around 35 people here.
Are you still planning to expand?
Yes, we are. Yes, our plans are to actually within the next 6 to 7 months to be at around 100 folks here, running 3 shifts a day.
And how many are former employees?
Right now, about 80% are actually former employees. And that's actually the keys to us actually getting to where we are at this point. Myself, my partners, and other folks involved in the business, we've got quite a bit of knowledge of the industry, but if it wasn't for the folks here that really pushed us through, we wouldn't be at this point. So it's my admiration for them out there is I'm at a loss for words for it. They're just absolutely phenomenal.
How'd you feel having your own festival in the summer?
Well, it's not being from this area. We are definitely going to be embracing the festival. I'd love to know the whole history as to how it started, But now that we are firmly entrenched in the community, that's something that we want to support. Our products are going to be national, but I also came from a small town in Tennessee, but small town nonetheless. And there's that pride of the small town is prevalent throughout the U.S., and we want to make this our home. So,
if I can interject, you shared with us in there with me about how you brought other operations elsewhere here. If you could just outline that. For
oh,
us
sure.
too.
Yeah, it's originally when we started up, we actually were working through a co-packer. We quickly realized that that's not a way to economically sustain ourselves. So we opened up a small bakery in New York. When we were searching for what we really wanted to become and be, we looked around basically the 95 corridor from New York, where a lot of my partners are, all the way down to North Carolina. This opportunity came up here, and we quickly embraced the chance to come to Clarion County and Rimersburg, not only because of what we saw here. We knew that this facility had good bones, but the people themselves. I had lived in western Pennsylvania for 10 years, traveled throughout this area as part of my territory, and knew the quality of folks that were here. And that's, quite frankly, was the last step in signing the dotted line and purchasing the facility.
And just to end that from my point, I want to thank you for your investment in western Pennsylvania, in Clarion County. It means a lot to us, and it's a show that you believe in us as much as we believe in ourselves. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
What's your favorite cookie?
I'm going to go with a double chocolate chunk.
Can't lose though.
Followed up with another product that we're working on and hope to have in some local supermarkets very soon, is a salted caramel chocolate cookie. So
You want to try it out?
Yeah.
We're right here. Did you say salted caramel chocolate chunk?
Salted caramel chocolate chunk, yes. So,
How many varieties do you have now?
right now, we've got about 33 different SKUs of product, and that is just of the base product. Now, we are doing some products like the chocolate chips that you see in front of you. We're doing that for a couple other folks that may require their own label or no label at all. Right now, we're still calling that chocolate chip family. So, but as we grow here, we'll probably be in the 1,000 to 1,500 SKUs.
Secretary, how does DCED help a company like IBake?
Well, we can help with equipment loans. We can help with employee training. We have a lot of different programs because this is the type of success story we want to see. We can do everything except come out and run the company.
You'll taste the cookies.
We'll take their product. Yeah.
Are there any other questions? I really appreciate all of you coming, you know, the representatives and the Governor's Action Team and the press and Northwest Commission. We have a wonderful group of people here who do a lot. We work together with the Economic Development and my partners, the press. Thank you for coming, and I'm sure there'll be some samples they can take with them, and I sort of promised them that. Don't make them mad at me.
I wondered how you got the press here.
Ron says, do I get cookies? To make sure, but if there's nothing else, thank you so much. And we'll get a photo op. Ed put this up for photo ops,
Oh,
so
that's great.
please, anybody who'd like to do that, we'd like to get people, as many in here as we can. That'd be great. But I can't thank you guys enough. It's a lot of work for you guys to put
No, my
together and for you
pleasure.
to come, and so thanks again for coming. Photo ops with hairnets, please.